Hi all. In this lecture, I am discussing the basics of paper 2, that is popularly known as Civil Services Aptitude Test, or you can say CSAT. In this lecture, I am discussing the topics or chapters which you should do in exam and which chapters are important for this exam that I will be discussing. And number of questions which you can expect in exam that I will discuss. See, there will be 80 question in the exam. There will be 80 question in the exam, and out of that you have to attempt, I say around 45 questions with the accuracy of 80%. That you should attempt in the exam because this paper is qualifying and you have to score one third of the marks, that is one third of 200 marks. Means out of 80 questions, you have to do 27 questions in net. Net means, deducting the wrong question, deducting the marks, negative marks. So, net 27 questions should be correct. Okay. Now, based on 4 5 year previous year paper, we can certainly say that questions are asked from three areas, and the three area are written on this whiteboard. You can see the three area you can see, and that is the first area I have written here: reasoning. Second area, basic numeracy, data interpretation, data sufficiency, and data analysis. In short, I have written DI, DS, DA. And third area is reading comprehension. Now, question is how many questions you can expect from each of these three areas in exam. So, based on previous year, you can expect from reasoning, in my view, 25 to 30 question. 25 to 30 question you can expect. And from numeracy, I have included here data interpretation, data sufficiency, and data analysis also. And from this, you can expect around 20 to 25 question. 20 to 25 question, we can say. And from reading comprehension, again, you can expect 25 to 30 question. So broadly, we can say from these three areas, you can expect question like this. Sometimes from reasoning 25, from comprehension 30, uh, from numeracy again you can expect around 30 questions, or from reasoning 30, from numeracy 20 question, from reading comprehension 30 question like this. In my view, you should attempt 45 question, 45 question with the accuracy of with the accuracy of 80%. What does it mean? If you are attempting 45 question with the accuracy of 80%, means 20% questions are wrong, means 9 questions are wrong. So you are doing 36 questions correct. But you have done 9 questions wrong. It means one third of the marks will be deducted. So you can say the marks of 3 questions will be deducted from 36. So in net you have attempted 36 questions, 33 questions, and that is good one. That is good one because in net you have to attempt 27 questions, but that is a borderline. So to be safe, you should attempt 33 questions in net. Net means deducting the negative marks. Now, 45 question, from which area you should attempt or you must attempt. In my view, some students avoid numeracy and they try to attempt 45 question or 40 question from reasoning and reading comprehension. Means 20 question from each of the two sections, reasoning and comprehension. But for that you need to do a lot, you need to practice a lot, and again you will not be sure whether you have attempted 40 questions correctly or not. So, in my view, that's not a good strategy to attempt 40 or 45 questions from only two area out of the three. That is the wrong way of attempting this paper. In my view, you should attempt, you should attempt 15 questions each from the three area, means 15 questions from reasoning, 15 questions from numeracy, and 15 questions from reading comprehension. It means with the level of preparation, average level of preparation, you can attempt 15 questions from reasoning, 15 from numeracy, and 15 from reading comprehension. So in all, 45 questions, and that is the best strategy. If I say 15 question from reasoning, means you are not leaving any easy question in reasoning. You are attempting all the easy question, because in exam not all the question will be difficult. Some easy question will also be there. So if you are attempting 15 question from each of the three sections, means you are taking care of the easy question which have been asked in the exam. So the best strategy is to attempt 15 question each from the three areas. Means you have attempted 45 questions with the accuracy of 80%, and so in net you have attempted 33 questions, and that is the safe area. When you are on the safer side, you are not on the borderline, so you are on the safer side. Now your paper 1 will be evaluated. You must be knowing paper 1 will be evaluated only when you have qualified paper 2. So you don't take this paper very lightly, because I know many good students have not qualified in this paper because they have taken this paper very lightly. They have not practiced a lot before taking the real examination, and the result was like that. So don't take this paper lightly. You need to practice a lot for qualifying this paper, and you need to have some basic background in the chapters, because you have to be very logically sound to attempt the question in the examination, because they are trying to test the thinking ability of the candidate, whether you can, whether the student can think or not. And you have to think in the examination itself, and for that you must have solid background, solid logic, solid concept. One thing I am making it clear: don't try to mug up the formula, because generally they don't ask question based on formula. They try to assess your logical ability, your analytical ability, your problem solving ability. In comprehension, they ask you, they try to basically evaluate whether you can comprehend a text or not. And accordingly, they will set the question. Now I am coming to the chapters which you should do in these three areas. Comprehension, no chapter, you know that. In that you will be given a passage, based on that question will be there. Obviously, recent trend is like that. They will not ask you a bigger passage, they will ask you short passage, and based on that one question. And nowadays question is very much twisted question, just critical reasoning type question they are asking. Short passage, one question based on that. So you can say that the passage is like an argument, and based on that, they will ask you a question that is very much related to critical reasoning format question. Okay, I am coming to the topics. I am coming to the topics, and the topics is first I am discussing the topics from reasoning. So in reasoning, the first area is analytical reasoning, or you can say analytical ability. And there are four chapters that you can see: arrangement, comparison of rank, blood relation, puzzle, grouping, and conditions. Arrangement means they will give you information related to sitting arrangement of some members, some friends, or you have to arrange some lectures of a teacher, or you have to arrange something else. They will give you information related to that, and you have to make some chart or some graph or some diagram, and then you can solve the question. So the arrangement question will be related to sitting arrangement, or arrangement of lectures, or arrangement of classes, like that. In comparison of rank, you have to make rank. of some variable. Like if I say that the informations are like this: A is taller than B, B is shorter than C, C is taller than D. So you have to make the ranking: who is tallest, who is shortest, and they will ask you question accordingly. In blood relation, they will give you a chain of relation related to a family, and some other variable, like they will give you profession of each member, or they can give you choices of each member, likings of each member. And then you have to make a family tree. Family tree will consist of different generations, and you will put the profession of each member if that is given in the information. And if choices are given in the information, you have to put their choices, and based on that, you have to attempt the question. Puzzle again related to blood relation, comparison of rank, arrangement, and something else, or mix of these. Again, you have, for puzzle you have to make some diagrams or some short symbols um, to cover all the information in a diagram, and then you do the question based on those information. Grouping and condition means you will be given condition. Based on that, you have to make a group. In grouping and condition question, best way to do is to use option. That option will be correct, which will be satisfying all the condition in the question. Very important. And every year you can expect question from analytical ability. And in analytical ability, the important one is puzzle, grouping, and conditions. So you have to practice a lot of this chapter of puzzle, grouping, and condition. Okay. Now, next area is ability deductive reasoning, and the chapter is syllogism. Important for your exam, because syllogism is a topic from the subject logic, and generally in all the aptitudes questions are asked from this topic. But UPSC asks this topic in something unique way. The question will be quite different from other exam questions. So you should have some theoretical background in syllogism, some theoretical background in syllogism. Then you can attempt the question of UPSC. So syllogism again very important. You can expect every year 2-3 questions from this topic, sometimes 5 questions also. So this is important chapter. Now the next is general mental ability I have written here. That is also part of reasoning. And in general mental ability, you can see the chapters cube and dice, cube and cuboid, date and calendar, clock, coding and decoding, series, logical Venn diagram, direction sense, inserting the missing number, counting number of triangles, a square and rectangle. See, there are many chapters in general mentality. I have selected these chapters, and why I have selected these chapters, because if you see the previous year paper, you can see from these chapters question have been asked. Now, I'm not going into the detail of the type of question from these topics, these chapters. I can say that I can say with certainty the topic which is important every year you can expect from the topics, that is clock, coding, decoding, inserting the missing number. So these are the important chapters from which you can expect every year question. Now also other chapters are also important but less important in comparison to these 3 chapters. Okay. Now this is all about general mental ability. Next is critical listening. Now I can say that critical listening is important. Why important? Because from critical listening you can expect independent question, and based on 4 or 5 year previous year paper, you can say that critical listening can be used in comprehension also. Why? Because I have told you they are now asking very short passage, argument type passage, and based on that only one question. You can see in the exam 20 to 23 passages are there. 20 to 23 passages are there, and passage will be consisting of 1 or 2 paragraph, and the only one question will be asked based on those passages. The format of the question is like critical reasoning question. What is critical reasoning question? I have written here. The major one I have written here. So you can see critical reasoning important as a whole. The whole critical reasoning is important nowadays. And the chapters are, you can see, the chapters are assumption, flaw, evaluate, strengthening argument, weakening argument, inference or conclusion to explain the puzzling part. Basically, I have written here the topic. Assumption means question format will be like this. Uh, in the above passage, what the author has assumed, and they will give you four options. Or what is the flaw in the passage, or on what count the passage can be criticized. Question like this. Or which of the following, if true, will strengthen the argument above, or will justify the argument above. Question like this. So this is critical reasoning, and topics are the all the topics are important. Why these are important? Because these are used in comprehension question also. Now, next, the last part of reasoning, that is visual reasoning. Uh, Not much needed for this because they will give you diagrams, and the popular question format is like that. They will give you 5 6 diagrams. You have to see the pattern among those diagrams, and they can ask you what can be the next diagram, and they'll give you the four options. So you have to see the pattern. Pattern will recur. You have to see the pattern, and you have to find the next diagram. The popular question is like that. They are asking in paper, or sometimes 5 6 diagrams are there. You have to find which diagram is not following the pattern, the general pattern. They can ask you like that. So the topic which I have written, you can see the topic which I have written, that is water image, mirror image, series classification analogy, figure matrix, embedding of figure. And out of this topic, series is important because mostly they are asking question from series, and series I have just told you, they will give you 5 6 diagram, they will have some common pattern. You have to find the next diagram, and accordingly they will give you option. So series is important. Now I have discussed major 5 grouping in reasoning, and the chapters which are important. Next I am coming to basic numeracy. Now see, some students find it difficult to do maths or fear of maths. They must concentrate in reasoning because they will find reasoning easy in comparison to maths. But my point is, you should not ignore maths fully. You should do some selected topics or selected chapters from which questions are generally asked. Okay. So the numeracy, the first group is, I have written here, the first group is general arithmetic. And you can see under general arithmetic, percentage PLD means profit, loss and discount and interest. Why I have written percentage, profit, loss, discount and interest under one group? Because profit, loss, discount and interest questions can be done with the help of percentage. So profit, loss, discount chapter or interest chapter, interest means simple interest and compound interest chapters, are basically application of percentage. That's why these three chapters are written under a group. Okay. Now next is average, allegation and mixture. Now allegation is a technique to solve mixture question or some other type of arithmetic question. Next I have written here ratio, proportion and variation. That is a chapter, and application of this will be in age related problem or partnership problem. Okay. Now next I have written time and work. Time and work, in time and work we will do question of pipe and cistern also, and work and widget, because these three chapters are related. Time and work, pipe and cistern and work and wage. Next is time, speed and distance. Again, time, speed and distance. In this chapter, we will do question of train, question of boat and stream, question of race. That we will do under this chapter. Okay. Now, question is which chapters are important in general arithmetic? So I am just circling profit, loss and discount, time and work, and then time, speed and distance. These three chapters are important as far as your exam is concerned. Every year you can expect question from these topics. So those who have fear in maths must concentrate on these three chapters. Okay. Now next second grouping is number system, LCM and HCF. Again important one. Number system, LCM and HCF, least common multiple and highest common factor. Uh, generally, generally, they ask application of LCM and HCF means they will ask you what problem where you have to use LCM or HCF. And in number system, they can ask you question related to divisors or factors, or they can ask you question related to remainders, unit digit. So many way of asking question in number system. Every year you have some question from number system and LCM and HCF. So this chapter is important. Third is I have written here permutation and combination and probability. If you see last 2 3 year paper, they are asking more question from permutation and combination. Probability, some question, but from permutation and combination, you can expect 2 3 questions, might be 4 questions each year. If you can see the previous 3 year paper, you can see this chapter is important now. Earlier it was not important. So permutation and combination is important nowadays. So that is the chapters which you should do in numeracy. One under general arithmetic, second under number system LCM and HCF, and third permutation and combination and probability. So I have just grouped basic numeracy under 3 groups, and I have just circled the important chapters. You can put more time in, or you can invest more time in those chapters, because you must have question in your exam from those chapters. Now, next is data interpretation. Now, in data interpretation, see, they will give you data. They will give you data through diagrams like pie chart, line graph, bar graph, or they can give you data in table form or in passage form. Your work is to process the data. Your work is to process the data, and accordingly you have to answer the question. Now, while processing the data, you need background of 3 chapters of numeracy. Which 3 chapters? First is percentage, second is ratio and proportion, third is average. So these 3 chapters are required for processing the data. Okay, concept of these 3 chapters are required. For data interpretation, you don't need to do anything extra. You just have the concept of percentage, ratio and proportion, and average. And certainly you need to know basics about the diagrams, pie chart, what is pie chart, what is bar diagram, what is line graph, or what is table, like that. 2 3 questions generally they ask, sometimes 4 5 questions, and sometimes no question from data interpretation. Generally easy questions are asked from data interpretation. Now next is I have written here data analysis, data sufficiency. Now again, in these 2 chapters you don't need to study anything. This is a way of asking question. This is basically basic numeracy question, but they will give you data. They will give you data in form of some passage, short passage. You have to analyze the data using the tools which you have studied in university, generally arithmetic, and then you have to analyze the data and accordingly you have to answer the question. In data sufficiency, again the way of asking question, they will give you one problem and below two, three statement. And then you have to analyze the statement, which statement can solve the problem given above. Yeah, which statement is sufficient to solve the problem above on individual basis or on joint basis, like one and two statement together can solve the problem or together is sufficient to solve the problem above. If three statements are there, means you have to individually check the each of the three statements whether they can solve the problem individually or not, or you have to see the joint of first and second together can sufficiently means data in first and second statement are sufficient to solve the problem above, or data in second and third statement are sufficient to answer the problem, or data in 1, 2 and 3, all the three statements together are sufficient to answer the problem. So data will be related to basic numeracy, and this is a type of asking question, this is a way of asking question, data analysis and data sufficiency. Nowadays they are asking the format of the question is like data analysis or data sufficiency. Okay. So nothing new you have to do here. You have to practice some question of data analysis or data sufficiency. Next is comprehension. Here no chapter. You know that you will be given passage. And you have to comprehend passage and accordingly you have to answer the question. I have told you in recent years they are asking a question like critical engineering question. That's why I have told you critical engineering is important. Now I have discussed the chapters, the important chapters, what you should do in the exam, how many questions you should attempt from each of the three areas that I have discussed. In your course, I have developed the course, yeah, or whatever I have recorded in the course is basically very much related to the demand of the examination. I have tried to give concept building in each of the chapters. I have first I have started from basic in each of the chapters and then up to the level which is required for your exam. I have tried to attempt all type of questions which are important for your exam, and this course will be very useful to you if you go through the course once or twice and you try to understand the logic behind the concept, logic behind the solution of the question. Obviously, it will help you improve the logic or concept of each of the chapters. So that's all for today's lecture, and I hope uh, must have solved many questions which you have in mind for this paper. Thank you. Have a good day.